So my very first job, and I'm so sorry, like, it is me, Koryn. Welcome, Koryn, good to see you. So my very, very first legitimate job was at Levitt's Furniture in San Dimas, California. And the beautiful thing about Levitt's Furniture is that when you drove over I-15 and I-10, and I-57, it's where the 10, 210, and 57 meet, right? Like, it's all. Oh, you're not from there, so you don't know. But that's like a real statement. You go over the hill and you see the Levitt's Furniture sign, and that was how you knew you were home. And that was my first legitimate job, is I worked at Levitt's Furniture, and every other person that I knew when I was 15, 16 years old, they worked at Burger King or McDonald's. We didn't have Chick-fil-A because we were in Southern California, or In-N-Out, right? Like, and the kids that worked at In-N-Out, they smelled like In-N-Out. So my very first job was at Levitt's Furniture. That was my first original job, and I was very proud of it. I worked there for 2.5 years, and I got fired because I'm a late person. We won't go over it. Right. Yeah, I'm just a late person. But my very, 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 very first job was at the Los Angeles County Fairgrounds. And the reason that was my first job was because my mom never had a traditional job. She was like a caretaker and a homemaker, and so how she made extra money was like doing things like the Census Bureau and working at the LA County Fairgrounds and like, odd jobby kind of things where you make lots of money really quick, but it's not everlasting. And I was 14 when she got this job at the LA County Fairgrounds. Now, where she got this job was in the game section, and our game was you throw a ping pong ball into a little fish bowl, and then you own that fish. It's as simple as that. So the LA County Fair was like 3 weeks, and then I would go. She was so excited about this job because she was making $400 a day, which was literally the amount of money that she made for the year. So I went. I was 14 years old, and I am going, and every single night after school, I'm going to the fairgrounds because she talked them into giving me this job where you throw the ping pong ball, it lands in the fish bowl, and then you give that fish to the person who won the thing, except for my job was to thwart them. My job was to be like, oh, you're throwing some shit? Bing! You don't get a fish, motherfucker. So, and I worked this job from I would go home from school, I would work it from 4 to 10 p.m., but, because you kind of have a work license in Southern California, but on Saturdays and Sundays, I could work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. on my work visa, or my work situation, and my entire job was every time I knocked that thing out, I got $1. Nice! It was amazing. But what I realized is that every time I knocked it off, I got $1, but every time they won, they tipped me $3. So my situation changed. And so I would take the ball, toss it in, you get the free fish, right? And then they tip me $3. And about 2 weeks in, and it's only a 3-week situation, about 2 weeks in, the owner of this game situation caught on to my bullshit. And at some point, late Saturday night at 2 a.m., my poor mom, who's she just this is how makes her money for the year, is like, can you please stop doing that? And I was like, no, I'm making bank, bitch. And I think, like, as you, like, right, like, I have this whole scheme and this whole thing is happening, but the reality is my mom just needed a job once a year, and she just needed to make money once a year, and she brought in her cute, adorable daughter to do this job, and I thwarted everything about it, and quite frankly, I bought a whole car from it. Like, I bought my first car from that situation, and she was still so proud of me, even though I fucked up her world. So, thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and call up our next storyteller for the night, which I don't know